once again, welcome back to the DSA with DAX series. Myself, DAX Patel, and today is day 24 of our DSA series. Today we're gonna solve question number 169, majority element. Okay, and this is the series where you can learn DSA from absolute beginner to the advanced level. Okay, just stay consistent, come to each and every day, try to do question by yourself, think way more about questions, whatever possible approaches. Okay, then you can master DSA simply. Okay, yesterday we solved question number 389. It's basically find the difference. We taken a new character count object, storing each and every character and like increasing its count and finding the value which extra variable added in our new key string. Okay, I hope you watch yesterday's video. If you not watch yesterday's video, link in I button. You can check out the yesterday video and like learn what is the question and what approach we can done. Okay, so now I'll explain today's questions first. So I am explain question, then we'll discuss about example and approaches, all possible approaches. After that we can write in one code and then try to do optimizations and like more approach code we can write, and later on discuss time and space complexity. Okay, so without wasting time, I'll start with question explanation. So basically, given an array, okay, you're given an array of nums of size n. Basically, they given you to an array of nums. The size of that array is n. Return the majority element. Okay, you just have to return the majority element. Which element coming higher than each and every. Okay, the majority element is the element that appears more than n slash 2. It's basically like if your array's length is 10, the element majority element should come greater than 5. Okay, like if you are given an array with 10 numbers, so any of number which come greater than 5 times in your array, you may assume that the majority element always exists in the array. Okay, so this is they clearly mention as to your like an element. Okay, in each and every condition there is one element exist which is majority. Okay, you can assume that. Okay, so they build each and every arrays with the majority element are there. Okay, so this is the question. So now we move to your example part. Okay, so example one, you can see that this array is given 3 2 3. Okay, so here are 3 is majority element. You can directly see that. Okay, because like it's a 3 element. Okay, and 3 comes twice times. We can see example 2. Okay, where 2 comes 4 times, 1 comes 3 times. Okay, so again 2 is coming greater than n slash 2, so 2 is our majority element. Okay, so this is our question and its examples. Now we see conditions. N is equal to nums dot length. Okay, you know that array's length is n. Okay, and n between 1 to 5 to 10 to the power 4. The range of n is 1 to 5 to 10 to the power 4. Okay, in some cases they can give you higher to test your like limits and whatever you take in conditions to check that. Nums of I value is between minus 10 to the power 9 to plus 10 to the power 9. Okay, the values are stored in our array. Like this array, it becomes like minus 10 to the power 9 to plus 10 to the power 9. You have to write the code according to that. Okay, so this is the all about the question. And okay, they given us a follow up. Okay, follow up is basically they given us a one more task to complete. Okay, could you solve the problem in linear time and in order of one space? Okay, so they basically trying to saying is time complexity should be like what a linear time complexity like order of n or order of log n like that, and space complexity should be order of 1. You don't have to take like any extra spaces. It's like follow up. You can like it's not majority condition. If this is not like follow, the code should be run and accepted, but this is majority like exception condition, you can try to do. Okay, so now we move to the approach. Okay, so let me I'll explain it. Follow up is given an additional task. Okay, So where you can try yourself to like optimize code or way more like think more about the question is that follow given. Okay, if you don't follow this, your code is accepted. Okay, if each and every conditions follows, your like you wrote each and everything perfect. Okay, with time complexity of order of n square, n space complexity of order of n, yes, it should be submitted and accepted. Okay, but this is your like challenge. You can try. If you can complete, it's good. If you not, okay, it's better. So just like you can try, so you can understand yourself where you can. Okay. So for this question, firstly we have one approach to like take an object like yesterday's question, and like we can store that in object like count of each and every number like for first number come 2, so we can store how many times 2 comes, and after that each and every number, and at the end we can check if the count of nums is greater than like nums dot length less 2, so we can return it. Okay, so this is simple approach. Okay, after that we can try the approach like where space complexity is order of 1 and time is linear. Okay, so we'll start with the first approach. Okay, so I'll start with let count equal to an object. Okay, so we're taking for loop. Okay, for let I is equal to 0. Okay, let I is equal to 0, I is less than nums dot length. Okay, nums dot length I plus plus. Okay, so first we have to take one more variable. Let num equal to nums of I. You can skip that part, and wherever I am using num, you can directly use nums of I, but I am taking one variable num to like clarify the things. Okay, simple things directly understand it. That's why I'm taking this. Okay, okay if count of num, then we can do that count of num. Okay, count of num plus plus. It's basically whenever it find count of num new, it will like basically increase the value of that. After that else, okay, like okay, so done, and then here on the right count of num, okay, equal to 1. First time whenever anything comes first time, it's basically count num is equal to 1. Okay, they can start with the first with 1. If last condition, okay, we have to return it. That's why I'm taking last one if condition. If count of num, okay, is greater than nums dot length less 2. Okay, I am taking this inside loop. You have to note that, because why am I taking this inside loop? It will increasing its object count value. Okay, for each and every num at the point like you can assume that 10 index array, at the 8th index the particular value of an element becomes greater than 5, so we'll directly return it. Why should we have to keep to the last element? If we got the answer, why should we have to go to last? Okay, that's why I'm taking this. Okay, and return norm. Okay, sorry, norm, not norm. Okay, and after that you can use break to like break for loop. Okay, so I'll run this code. Okay, for test cases, so you can see the test cases are accepted. Now I'll submit this for further lead code test cases. So it's basically okay, this answer is accepted. All 53 out of 53 test cases are passed. So you can understand how these questions work and logic about that. Okay, so now we'll try about follow up. Okay, this follow up, could we do this order of one space complexity with solving this question? Okay, so the logic for so basically logic for that is some tricky. I'll start with the basic whatever we can do this. So this will tell us you can take a space complexity should be order of one. So we cannot take an entire object, but we can take some variables to store each and everything. Okay. So I am taking an like a hidden trial type of logic. So it has like it can work. We'll check, okay, whether it is true or not. So firstly, I'll take an new variable count, okay, is equal to 0, okay, new variable count, and let candidate its new variable candidate equal to null. Starting from nothing, we assume you don't have any value, so it's basically taking null. For loop, okay, let I is equal to 0, each and every starting point is should like this: I less than nums dot length, okay, I plus plus, and inside that, so I'm like taking if count, okay, triple equal to 0, okay. For first case is basically always 0, okay. So candidate, okay, candidate equal to nums of I, okay. So the first value or first value of array we can store it in candidate, and it's like taking its count in count variable is equal to 1, okay. In object we can store both in a one field, but for this we can taking two separate thing and operating like they both are similar, okay. I hope you are clear about this. Else if, okay, because we want to check something else, so we can take else if, okay. So it's basically I'm taking else if for num of I triple equal to candidate, okay. Whenever our nums of I value is equal to candidate count plus plus, okay. Now this thing you can understand what I am doing, but each and every time it won't equal to our value, but whenever it's equal to increase count value, if not, so our else condition going follow count minus minus, okay. Okay, so like count minus minus, okay, I'll explain that part below some after returning return, okay, candidate, okay, okay. Wait, I think I have, okay, so I'll run this whether it is correct or not. So you can see that this is accepted. Now I'll explain how this gonna work, okay. So whenever like 2 comes, our candidate store 2, count becomes 1. Again 2 come, it will count become 2. 1 come, so 1 value come, count value should be decreased 1. So now count is 1. 1 come, count value becomes 0. Okay, again 1 comes, so count variable becomes 1 and candidate variable also becomes 1. Okay, when 2 comes, count is 0, candidate is again 1, okay. But 2 come, okay, it will check 2 and count variable is 0, so count variable becomes 1 and candidate becomes 2, and at the end you have 2 one time. So basically last value stored in candidate is the highest time upcoming in our array, so by that we can return that value, okay. You can take paper and pen and try to do calculate manually by creating multiple of arrays, and that I'll submit that part and click check list code cases. So this approach is also accepted our 53 case. So you can see that our this like approach is also accepted. So now we'll discuss about both approaches, time and space complexity. For the first approach where we can use one for loop, so it's basically time complexity is order of n, okay. With and also in third question we are using an entire new object at same as the current length. So the space complexity for that is order of n, okay. So time and space complexity both are order of n for that approach. For second approach, time complexity is order of one. We just taking two variables, okay, and like like time complexity is order of n and space complexity is order of one. Okay, so for like time complexity, we using one for loop for first index to last index of our array, and space complexity is we taking two variable and just taking like three conditions to checking between whether it is correct, no, plus, minus, set. Okay, so this is the time and space complexity about our two approaches. Okay, so I hope you got clear about time and space complexity of this code. So now we'll move to the tomorrow's question. It's basically 349, intersection of two arrays. Okay, I'll show you a question. Intersection of two arrays. Okay, so given two integer array nums1 and nums2, return an array of their intersection. Each element in the result must be unique and you may return the result in any order. Okay, so you given in two array, you have to return an insertion array, and each element in the result must be unique and you have to return in result array in any order. Okay, first, last, it won't affect you. So here you can see that in first array, 1 2 2 1 nums 2 has 2 2, so the intersection is only 2, so you can write your 2 only 2, not twice time 2. Okay, so we can see example 2 here. In nums 1 495, in nums 2 has 49984, so you have to write 94. Okay, and if you write 49 is also accepted. Okay, so this is the question of tomorrow. You can try this. Okay, and you can check out these conditions. Okay, and after completing this question, post it on LinkedIn and Twitter and mention me. Okay, and if you not started yet DSA series, link in I button. You can start from the day one where I explain each and everything about series, how the series gonna work, whatever you have to do, and how you can improve your logic building and approach building, each and everything. Okay, so check out the day one video and meet on tomorrow's video. If you find any doubts about today's video, just ask me in comments. I'll help you to solve your doubts. Okay, so meet on tomorrow video. Thanks for watching the video.